What's up, y'all? It's your boy, TEVTalks. Today, I want to talk about 3 of my favorite webtoons that I've been reading that I think all readers should check out. If you're a fan around stories that involve action with martial arts, people getting bodied up, and of course characters that are in a good environment with good history and good development, then I feel like these 3 have to be on your radar. Today, I want you guys to look into Black Sun, the Heir, and Return of the Blossoming Blade. So, let's jump right into it. Black Sun, created by author Play and artwork done by artist Min, is probably one of my favorite ones that's on this list. It's an actual gem. It has action, drama, good power scaling, and ninjas. What can go wrong with ninjas? Black ninjas at that. Following our young brother Yu, the story starts with an unfortunate scenario of losing a loved one. But not just anybody. Yu ends up losing his mother. You see, she ends up losing her life to a demon while trying to protect Yu of all things. After this heartbreaking introduction, Yu ends up entering a world he thought that could never exist. One that not only involved demons, but ninjas as well. And he has to deal with this while feeling a burden of guilt. Or, I guess you could say, a need to redeem himself for not being able to save his mother. He doesn't realize that these origins that he's feeling actually have place in this society of ninjas and shinobi that he joined, called the Crimson Star Empire. And when the opportunity strikes for Yu to find redemption and seek his own path, using courage and bravery, he immediately jumps at that chance. And now we get to follow a story of a journey with Yu as he not only learns about his life as a shinobi, but what it means to be the key in this society. Like, I'm not lying when I say this is straight heat. Black Sun is determined to go the long route. It's all about building our MC up in a way that gives us an actual journey. It seems like the world is meant for all the characters to exist in and live and be a part of what's happening in this story. We really get to see Yu begin life as a shinobi, from the emotions he has to deal with to just simply learning what it even takes to become a shinobi. This story is big Naruto vibes. I mean, yeah, the shinobi in this world aren't exactly popping Rasengan, but they're definitely using some form of power to convey what it is that they need to do. It's almost like they all have a specialty, one that really embodies who they are as a character and really showcases their personality. It's like their powers go hand in hand with them as shinobis in general. I mean, the superior shinobi of the Crimson Star Empire are called Han. And simply put, they're kind of OP, at least from this point in the story. They don't really have that many flaws, unless obviously you have a power that directly negates what they're doing or goes against it. And of course, Yu does develop some power. I mean, after all, he's considered the key of this shinobi world. Yu gets to go through a training arc that not only ends in trials, but it develops him and develops us as readers to learn about this environment, learn about this world, what it means to be a shinobi, and what it means to protect the Crimson Star Empire. I mean, honestly, I can tell we're in for a good and long journey. So if you got the time, definitely go ahead and support author Play and go read this on Webtoon. Again, it's a gem that I think many of you will enjoy. The Heir, created by Dongwoo Han, artwork by Do-hee Lee. If you haven't noticed, I feel like crime, spy, hitman-esque stories are hella satisfying. Especially if they have characters that also got hella hands. When that is done right, you end up with a story that not only attracts readers, but really becomes a diamond in the rough. And when I tell you The Heir, it does that perfectly. Starting the story, we see our MC, a young child named Teha, living and surviving as the son of a super conglomerate CEO. He ends up becoming rescued by an Italian mafia after floating in the ocean from a botched murder attempt on his family. Teha, now an orphan, is raised in this mafia, this familia, with the sole purpose of returning that same feeling he felt to those that caused it. So if you're looking for a revenge story, this one is right up your alley. You see, in this revenge story, within basically the first 10 chapters, Taeha learned that it was his uncle who, in an attempt to take over their business, basically set up the murder of not only his family in the past, but even those family members that are living now. Basically robbing Taeha from some of his own revenge that he came back, set out to complete. You see, the real villain of the story is his cousin Cheon, not the uncle. The uncle might have tried to take over the business, but you see, the cousin Cheon, he was the one that pulled the trigger. But the story only starts there. Now that we have the actual prologue set up, we understand that Taeha is about to go on this journey to not only try to take down his cousin, but find out all the dirty things that are actually happening in this world with not just his business, but any other business that's involved in corruption. I mean, technically, it's almost like this story is a game of cat and mouse, except the role of cat and mouse are always switching with Taeha and his cousin Cheon. The action is very good, very adult themed, and I won't lie to you. People are getting pieced up, body left and right, stabbed, cut, shot, murked. It doesn't matter. Heads are flying. Taeha is really out for revenge, and he doesn't care how merciless he has to get in order to exact it. Simply put, Taeha is not here to play. The story has a lot of good moments, and as I mentioned, it's still early enough for you to jump in, ride the wave, and follow Taeha so we can hopefully have some form of a good ending, and Taeha murking his cousin and finally getting his full revenge for his late father and mother. Return of the Blossoming Blade. Story by Biga, artwork by artist Liko. Now, on this list, Return of the Blossoming Blade is absolutely my favorite story. I mean, you can tell it was created with humor in mind, fun in mind, action in mind, everything. It's such a feel-good story that's not afraid to try and encompass every emotion that the reader can experience. Reading it, it takes me back to like watching an episode of Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's just a fun and whimsical journey that has a lot of charisma in all the characters that are involved. It follows the veteran martial artist of the Manhwa sect, otherwise known as Cheongmyeong. Beginning the story with an ending, we get to witness our MC Cheongmyeong fight what is presumed to be the big baddie of this whole series, the Demon Lord Cheonma. And now, our master swordsman ends up defeating Cheonma, but at the cost of his life. But using his dying last breath, he decides to wish for good fortune on not only his sect, but the future of all those that may have to, at one point, come into a demon kind like Cheonma. But upon awakening in what he thought would be the afterlife, lo and behold, it seems to be a sense of reincarnation. Our MC finds himself in the body of a young boy, now having to basically relive a life that he's already lived. Except this time, he has the same mind that he did as a veteran martial artist when he died. The story, as I mentioned, is filled with hella good action, and it's got a lot of good humor. I mean, actual humor. There's been moments in this story where I've legitimately bust out laughing just from some of the faces, expressions, or just some of the dialogue between the characters in the Manhwa set. Our guy Cheongmyeong is no slouch either. Again, he was already a legendary swordsman in his past life, but now he gets to try and become that legendary swordsman once again. In other words, it really is the return of the Blossoming Blade. It's time for him to use all that blossoming knowledge and not only make the world a better place for the future, but enrich his sect, enrich the art of what this martial arts entails, and also simply just make sure that the new generation never has to deal with the cost of losing lives in a battle against the demon lord like Cheonma ever again. He just simply plans to use this second life to make everything right. Any regrets that Cheongmyeong had are no more. It's time to rewrite those, make things better, and make sure the world can be a better place overall. Again, if you like series like Avatar, The Last Airbender, just fun stories like even Samurai Jack that give you kind of a time placement or a character that's out of the ordinary but still has the knowledge to really enrich all those around them, this is going to be such a great read. And trust me, we're on a break right now as we get ready for the next season. So when I tell you it's the perfect time to jump in and catch up on almost 200 chapters of pure fun, please do not do yourself a disservice and start reading Return of the Blossoming Blade. So with that, I feel like I've said all there is that needs to be said. If you like these 3 recommendations, or if you end up checking them out, leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought about them. And if you don't like them, let me know what you do like. Really, as I say every video, I want to hear what your recommendations are. I want to open up my own book to everything that I possibly haven't read before. And hopefully I can open you guys up to many titles that you also haven't heard of before. So if you enjoyed the video, go ahead and drop a like. And if you think this content is something that you're going to want to watch down the road, subscribe. I got a lot more coming and I really do appreciate it. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video here. I hope y'all have a great day, great morning, great night. It doesn't matter. Just make it a good one. And with that, I'm out, y'all. TEVTalks.